and friends. The purpose of today's video is to give you guys an introduction of our love and our love story. As you guys know, we're getting married Sunday, September 4th at 5 p.m. sharp, so don't be late. And we're excited to have you guys join in our love story. My name is David, better known as Jarrell by my family members, Uncle Rail from my babies. A little bit about myself. I am the oldest of three, whom I love very much, and I'm excited to have them join our wedding.
My name is Gigi, and I am the third of four daughters, no brothers. I am a singer, and I love the Lord, and I'm so grateful for everybody that is here to join with us as we come together as one.
So I'm going to give you our first meeting, or how we met, the David Jones version. For some of you that don't know, we actually met online on a media website called Tinder, which is funny because I love chicken tenders, but that's not why I was on there. So, and I was totally against any social dating or any whatever they call it. And, you know, Harvey happened, and so we were reined in. I was reined in. I lived by myself. And, you know, it was suggested from a friend that I join Tinder. And they actually said, well, I don't know why you're going to join, because you're not going to talk to anybody. You're not going to meet anybody. And so after a while, you know, you match with a couple people, then, you know, you have a conversation and become, you know, mundane. You say the same thing. And then one day I matched with this young lady, and she begged me to marry her the first day. So.
Yep, and that's where the story starts to go to the left a little bit. So basically what happened is it was my first hurricane here in Texas, and I was with my niece, Ashley, and she was like, hey, we're not doing nothing, let's go ahead and sign up for Tinder. You should do Tinder. And I was like, no, because I don't do that. I don't do social media. I'm not meeting nobody. People crazy. So I was not gonna do it, and we were flooded in. There's nowhere to go, so I finally decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and give this a try. And so it was fun at first. You know, you just swiping left, swiping right, whatever. He cute, he ain't cute. He cute, he ain't cute. And it became a game for me until I got flooded with matches. And this was the first guy that kind of came across. And I was like, he got this little thing on his.
I did, a little lapel, pen.
He got a pen. I was like,
do.
he's probably some kind of politician.
Nope.
So, but you know, I thought he was cute. We actually decided to meet up with each other. So we decided to go to the movies. I had on Jordans because I was ready to box if he was going to do that. You know, I did not.
I had on my Bible study jacket. So where you going to box me and you get, never mind. What movie did we go see?
You know who brought us together? Go ahead.
Mr.
Samuel L. Jackson himself. Thank
Yeah,
you, Mr.
yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Our first date, the movie we saw is The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Yes.
And we had this huge bucket of popcorn and sat it between the two of us, and Gigi ate one kernel at a time.
One kernel
throughout
at a
the
time.
entire movie.
Throughout the entire
One
movie.
kernel at a time.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Because I was scared and I was very nervous, and I didn't know him, but he turned out to be a nice guy.
After she had given me the wrong direction to the movie theater, well, I was in the right place, she was not. I got nervous, so I called my friends and said, hey, I'm going on a date with this chick. I've never seen her before, seen pictures, this is, you know, who she is. If I disappear, she did it. So when I finally met her, we got out of the car, I noticed, well, she wasn't as tall as the picture showed her to be, so I was like, okay, and I'm not a tall dude. So, and I try not to be a pervert. I looked at her and said, she cute. You know, I could take her home to Granny, you know, and let us meet my mama, but, you know, and then from then we didn't get a chance to talk much, but just looking at her, I would glance at her from time to time, not trying to be a creepy Charlie or anything, but I noticed her beauty even in the dark, and so every once in a while I try to, you know, look over the other way to see her and, you know, and get the full view, and since then, I mean, I still been looking over, getting a view. It wasn't that good?
That was good.
Yeah, see?
That was real
That was
good.
real good. I got you.
I would say when I first met him, you know, I thought he was really cute, but when he smiled, that just kind of blew me away. Not that one.
There you go. Yeah, they're all mine, as my daddy say.
But he had this really, really nice smile, and it was very like welcoming. He had these high cheekbones, and
Yep.
and I just thought he was really nice looking.
So we are about to get married, and so we understand that the most important part of marriage or any relationship is communication. And for myself, having to express myself in a manner that I've never done before, and having a partner hold you accountable, it was new for me because I was such a loner. You know, for years I lived by myself, and so I have it in myself that when I'm ready to do something, I do it, you know, and I do it the same way that I've always done it. And so being able to have someone to hold you accountable, but also say, well, have you thought about it this way? You know, maybe do it this way, which is something new for me. So going into the marriage, I plan to keep that at the forefront of, you know, I have a partner to hold me accountable, but also to give me another insight that other than my own. And so I'm looking forward to that. And as a man, I've got to be able to allow myself to be vulnerable at times and give her the opportunity to share her input and her true feelings about situations that sometimes I feel like as a man, I got it all worked out. And then after she puts her spin on it, then I realize that she was right, but I'm always right, but there you go.
Communication is so important to me as well, and I think that with me and David, we have truly learned how to communicate with one another, and I think we have grown to learn how to respond to one another during certain periods of time. I've learned that, you know, when he needs some space, you know, I give him his space, and then we come back together and we talk about things, and it's easier to communicate that way when we've allowed each other to just think about it on our own and breathe it through, you know. So that's something that, you know, I've been really taking the time to learn is more about him and his communication.
So when I first met Gigi, one of the things, she was very upfront. She was open and honest, and the first thing she said, well, I just want to let you know that I have 3 kids. And I was like, okay. She said, well, I want you to know that I've been married before. I was like, okay, no problem. And she mentioned something about the previous relationship, and I said, okay, is that it? And I said, well, as long as you're not a dude, I can handle that. That other stuff is, you know. But so meeting her and knowing how open and upfront she was, I could appreciate that. And as we started to get to know each other, and I start to see her in a different light. And, you know, early on, I knew like I was going to be committed to one person. You know, I knew that this is a person that I wanted to anchor down and spend the rest of my life with. And so I didn't have any kids, so I have inherited 3 wonderful children. So, I mean, what more can I ask for?
I knew he was different from day one.
Yeah,
you know, I knew.
Let her know it.
I knew something was different about him. You know, just the way that he really looks at, you know, he really takes into account other people and their feelings. He's always very hospitable with everybody. Everybody loves him. Every room that we walk into, David is always loved by everybody, you know, and, you know, it just really does something to me when, you know, you walk in a room and no matter where you're going, church to work, you know, workplace or anything like that, you see how people love on someone else, you know, and I was like, wow, you know, people really love this guy. Like, what is it about him? But I soon found out that, first of all, if you haven't noticed, he's a clown. So he keeps you laughing all the time.
Very serious
and I love that, you know, because I love when I was in a dark place, he always made me smile. So I appreciated him for that, and I knew, like...
We made each other smile, though.
We did,
yeah.
But I knew, like, this dude ain't asking me, but this is something serious that I would definitely spend the rest of my life.
When my family heard about Gigi and they finally got a chance to meet her, my granny is, you know, she's the matriarch of the family. So when she met Gigi for the first time, and I told her she was a singer, Granny had her sing. And so, you know, church mothers and grandparents and grandmothers that's been in church, you know, they have to give the final stamp of approval. And so Gigi started singing, and in the middle of that, Granny said, "Oh yeah, you got it." So then I knew that, you know, this was a lasting thing because my grandmother put the stamp on it, my mom and my brothers and sisters.
And for me, I had mixed reviews. My family is very territorial. They are.
She's mine now.
Yeah. They're very territorial. You know, they are very like, that's my sibling, that's my cousin, that's my this, that's my that. You know, and they're very, very tight knit. And at the time, I wasn't so open about what was going on in my life. So when it boiled down to it, everybody just, you know, was like, who's this guy? You know, where he come from? You know, who is he? And so it was very scary for me because I was so far away from my family, and, you know, I was going into this relationship with really no backing from my family, like nobody really there to help me through this process or anything like that. But I just continued on with David because I knew something was different about him. And I remember when my dad came down, and if anybody knows me, they know I love my daddy. I'm a daddy's girl through and through, always will be, it don't matter. And he said to him, he's like, you know, hey, I appreciate you being here, but what's your purpose?
Oh yeah,
and,
he was very clear about that.
Very
what's your
clear.
intentions?
What are your intentions?
Straight to the point. Yeah.
You know,
I
after,
appreciate that.
Yes, he was that's my daddy though.
Yeah.
And I appreciated my daddy for that because I felt like he trusted me to make a decision, but he also wanted him to know that I'm still her daddy and, you know, I'm still here, you know. And when he asked that question and they got a chance to talk, I remember my dad came to me and said, I like him, he's a nice guy. And that was kind of like all I needed, you know. I needed my daddy to say yeah, and my daddy said yeah. And when he asked him for the hand, apparently my daddy said yeah, so.
And I felt that that was appropriate, you know, because I know she is a daddy's girl. I think it was very important that I, you know, go back to the old school way and reach out and say, hey, these are my intentions with your daughter. And then for me to be able to receive whatever feedback he had, you know, I was open to it. And what I will share is, you know, our conversation, he was very adamant about taking care of his grandchildren. And so that's something I take to heart. You know, I said I have 3 children, so I do take that into account every day. You know, I have three eyes looking at me, and so I want to be a good example for them.
It's
especially
actually 6
with
eyes.
6, yeah, that too. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, that too.
But I also want to say this, with my mom being deceased, you know, when my aunt came to him and said that she would have loved him, that meant
That was
the
big
world
for me.
to
I almost cried.
Yeah, that was big for me because, you know, I really wish my mom was here, but I really know that she would have definitely approved of David. I know she would have.
So our engagement story includes a lot of things, and since everyone knows, you know, COVID-19 has been a big part of this, so we've been delayed several times. We had a big ceremony planned, then we had a smaller one planned, and then we got postponed. And so here we are 2 years out, and are finally able to have a nice celebration with all our family and friends. So we're just looking forward to a good time. We want you to enjoy each other, enjoy us, and celebrate our love, because that's something that we hold near and dear. Each one of you hold a special place in our hearts. So we're excited and looking forward to seeing everyone on September 4th.
Yes.
Eat, drink, and be merry.
Yeah.
Emphasis on the drink.
Thank y'all so much for coming. We appreciate and love you all. Everybody that's here is supposed to be here, and we love you all. Even to those that couldn't make it, we know that you are praying for us and that you love us. We feel the love, and we appreciate the love from everybody. Thank you all for being here.
We love you.
We love
Eat, drink, and be merry.
That.
I think about loving you. Think about loving you. Think about loving you. about love.